All right, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this example here. In this case, it's telling us that TFT in this case denotes the temperature in New York City measured in Celsius when it's T hours after midnight. So in this case, TFT is representing the temperature of New York, so our Y. Axis in this case represents the temperature of New York, and in this case, T represents the hours after midnight, meaning that at the origin, our starting point here, that would be considered 12 a.m., and then 2 hours later would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, would be hitting noon. Once we get to 14, that would actually be 2 p.m., then 4, then 6, then 8, 10, and 12, and so on. So let me just go ahead and write that down. This would be 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and so on, right? We get the point. And in this case, guys, it's basically telling us we have a starting point in this case. This is, once again, the temperature. So the temperature in New York, when it hit midnight, it started off at -3 Celsius. Then at some point, it was decreasing. And at 2 p.m., it got about 3.5, negative 3.5. From there, we saw an increase. So from 2 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m., we saw that there was actually an increase here. And then from 2 p.m. on, it was a decrease. We could see that as it was a decrease. And there was 2 points in this case, 2 points or 2 hours where the temperature was at 0. All right, so this is below 0. This is above 0. So in this case, what we want to go ahead and do is that we want to go ahead and take a look at these statements here. And we have different features from the graph. We have the y-intercept, we have positive and negative intervals, and we have increasing and decreasing intervals. In this case, if we focus on the y-intercept, we're basically looking at the starting point. You know, how much was the temperature at the start, in this case at midnight. So let's go ahead and take a look at our statements here. First statement says it was getting warmer between 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. The temperature was above 0 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. It was -3 Celsius at the beginning of the day. So these are the 3 statements we need to match. In this case, we want to go ahead and match with our features. So if we take a look in this case at the y-intercept, the y-intercept is talking about our starting point. If we take a look at our graph, take a look back at our graph here, we have our y-intercept at -3. So in this case, the statement that would be compatible or that would match with our y-intercept would be the temperature being at -3 Celsius. So it was at the beginning of the day, which was at midnight. So that's the first one we're going to go ahead and connect. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at positive and negative intervals. Whenever they're talking about positive and negative intervals, they're basically talking about, there's actually 2 different places. So if you take a look at the y-axis, negative intervals, you're going to find them on the bottom. Positive intervals, you'll find them on top. So this is what they mean. Whenever they're talking about a negative interval, we could say that that was from 0 to 8. And it also happened from 8 p.m. and on. Positive intervals, in this case, positive intervals would be between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So let's go ahead and check that out. So our other 2 statements in this case, it mentions it was getting warmer between 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. And the temperature was above 0 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So in this case, the positive and negative intervals would actually be matching with the temperature being above 0. If we take a look at that, positive and negative, temperature was above 0 in this case from 8 to 8 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that would represent either the positive or the negative. In this case, it's representing the positive. So therefore, the last one, increasing and decreasing intervals, it says that it was getting warmer between 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. So if we take a look from 2 a.m., which is here, and we take a look at 2 p.m., which is there, we see that there's actually an increase in the temperature. So therefore, matching would be this one here.